Don't be a flake. Don't run away from your feelings, babe. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Don't hesitate to say, hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe.
Hey, babe, every day.
All right, guys, we just started off a Hey Babe in a way we've never started off before. The great Mike Cannon is here. Everybody knows.
If you know Mike, then you probably know what we're about to say.
You know what I'm about to say? If you know Mike, you know he comes with one thing and one thing only, and that's edibles, baby.
That's right.
Mike took 130 milligrams. Sal took 20 milligrams. I took 40 milligrams.
Yes.
So we're good
what
to
did
go.
I take in your estimation?
You split a 70. You took probably 40% of the 70. I would say like probably 25 to 30.
All right. Let's see.
You're in
and I know
manageable
we spoke
waters.
about this. I know we spoke about this on last week's episode, but it's still prevalent and in the news. We have to speak about, especially as these edibles kick in, because make no mistake, Mike gave these to me last week. These have ricin in them. So
Ricin?
resin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rosin.
Rosin.
Like a rosin bag?
Yeah, like a
rosin
bag.
Should I
bag.
take
No.
a little more?
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to. I don't know. Like I want to. If we're gonna do it, I want to get to a place that I normally don't get to.
These are fast acting, tough acting, 10 acting. These are.
Oh, I'm not trying. Also, I'm not trying to take yours. I'll give you.
Oh yeah, I got a Venmo, you dude,
yeah.
because you gave it to me
What?
the last time.
What?
Yeah.
What are we,
No.
children?
I
What
don't
are we,
do that.
High school?
No. I'll give you.
Give me the children.
I'll give you the money. Why? Yours kicked in already?
Yeah. No, but I want to. A dermatologist claim you should only shower 2 to 3 times a week.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, dude. You got to
Who
wash.
showers that many times?
Wash your ass, bitch. But I think we have to talk about it, even if it's just for a couple of
I'm
minutes,
nervous.
dude.
Now I'm nervous.
Because when
That's
this
great.
happened today, Mike, I thought about you right away, and especially as these edibles kick in, like Congress saying aliens are real.
Yeah.
Have you been talking about this all day? Because I feel like you're a guy that they would come visit first.
I'm really excited. I'm also a little bummed out because my idea of what aliens were is far more complex than what it possibly is.
Really?
Because I mean, what the way these guys are talking about it is like they pass each other on the freeway every day and like
really?
wave to each other. Yeah, they're like commercial pilots have routine interactions with them.
No.
Not like speaking or anything, but they'll like pull to within 50 feet of the nose of the plane and then, you know.
You heard that? I didn't see that.
Some guy, somebody literally just
Ain't nobody
sent
told me
a
that
clip.
part.
That
Well,
might have
that's
been the whistleblower.
But that's
that
the
guy.
thing. That's the thing is it's mind-blowing to me that people in the government have known for maybe like a generation or so about these things that is like blowing our mind. Like there are people on this planet that are like, these people are so dumb for even debating this. Of course it's real.
I told you I saw what I thought was something
You ain't see
alien
shit.
related. I did. I told you. It was alien related. I told you the story already, but nothing's ever happened to me like that before or since. But I was driving on the highway or whatever. It was that night. I think I was coming home from like a road gig or whatever. And I'm on, and I forget where I was. Maybe somewhere in like
Tuscaloosa.
No, it was here. It was like maybe an hour away from here, but it was on like a big road, and it was like in Queens, or something.
Monroe, New York. Oh.
But it was
Queens.
like but it was still on like the BQ, whatever it was.
Ridgewood.
And I'm driving, and I see a flash of light that is blindingly. I mean, it lights up the whole sky. It's not lightning.
Right.
It's like it looks like someone took a photo.
Right.
It went, and it was
Like the
so,
Men in Black thing. From
Yeah, exactly. It was so far away, so far away. But I just saw the whole sky lit up, and in less than 1 second, it happened again in half the distance.
No kidding.
And then in less than 1 second again, it happened a third time right where I was, and then it didn't happen again.
Whoa.
And
that's
so
cool.
when I say, I mean, as far as your eye could see.
You were like
Yeah.
a pizza delivery guy. Like you were like a loser. Nothing's going on. Those lights happen. You're like, I have an idea. 4 friends playing pranks on each other. One of us has an earpiece in our ear. You just sent a group text.
Thank you to the aliens.
not to potentially rain on this, but I do remember there being an incident in New York where like a major transformer blew or was struck by lightning that caused some sort of like blue sonic like shockwave lighting the entire
That's what they
sky.
said.
That is what they said, yeah. Meanwhile, it's Will Smith
That's what
just
they'll have you
shocking people's
believe.
memories.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Well, that was a couple years ago. How long was your experience?
A couple years ago.
Oh,
so it was the same day.
But it wasn't a general. It was. I know it wasn't that.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to explain to you what it was.
Was
'cause
anyone else in the car with you?
Yes,
Fred?
but she was sleeping. She was
See?
sleeping, and I wanted to wake her up.
From
but
doing what?
I was gonna wake her up.
You're the one making all the money doing work around here. Where did she die from?
But it blew my mind because when I tell you, if you see something travel at a speed I've never seen before,
Right.
It was just three, and it went as far as I could see that way to almost right in front of me, to as far as I could see like back, and it was like, so it wasn't in one area,
And you weren't high.
and it
you
was
weren't
flashes. It wasn't one big thing.
Damn flashes.
I went because it went. I was like, what the hell was that? Boom! It happened again. I'm like, yo, and then it would just happen again.
That's
And then
cool.
I was like, I don't know what I just saw. I was looking at other drivers to see if they like anyone was like,
Okay,
Everybody's just on their
do you
phone.
do you think, because what I keep getting, I guess, frustrated by at this point is like, we keep seeing these tidbits, we keep saying like, oh my God, and then nothing really huge ever happens. Do you think that that's just what this is intended? The news is always just, the government's just going
Disclosure.
to always just leave it a little bit like that, let it just form in your brain, but there was never like a big event that said this was the day?
I mean, it could be that, or it could be that we've been coexisting for a really long time, and there's no difference from our everyday life.
let me ask
Right.
you this.
Right.
They had to be able
That's
to
true.
travel pretty fast.
Yeah.
Right? To get from wherever they
100%.
get into here. We all know that, right?
100%.
So I may be at a speed that we can't even register with our own eyes. So like this whole thing of like they pulled up to the pilot and was like, "Hey," what's up? So that means they've also said they've seen them just hover,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so they can go at any speed, but I mean to get here, they must be going at a speed that we're not.
And
we're
then to
not-
slow down, they must be purposely slowing down for some type of reason.
I think it's even weirder, because this is why I say I'm almost disappointed that it seems so regular, is because I like the Carl Sagan thing where it feels like they might be here right now, just in a dimension that is imperceptible to us.
Right.
So like when we
What
say
does
they
Carl
move,
Sagan say?
he says that they may be here with us right now, but they are operating and living and existing in a dimension that is imperceptible to our.
So they're
meat
sitting,
body.
one's sitting right next to me, but I can't
Could
see
be.
it.
So the idea
Do they
being
understand
like,
English, you
Like you
think?
ever see Contact with Jodie Foster?
Yes.
And at the end, she just drops it. Fucking Gary Busey's son is the most terrifying human being ever in that movie. But there's where she just drops through, and they're like, "Oh my God, it was 9 seconds. Nothing ever happened." But she was actually transported between dimensions to a time where like she experienced over 13 hours of interaction, but Earth time. It's like a DMT trip.
See, but that's what I'm saying with those movies. That's what we said before, is that if Hollywood is making up these scripts, that's not from somebody's mind. Like somebody has information that they leaked to Hollywood.
Well, that
to,
was
like, get
based
it.
on a Carl Sagan book.
Oh, okay.
that
So why
movie.
why does Carl Sagan think this? Does he say
He's a theoretical physicist, one of the most famous ones ever. He
Okay.
he breastfed Neil deGrasse Tyson.
right? Yo, can somebody make that merch? Can somebody make that? Is he still alive, Carl Sagan?
I don't think so. No, I think he died actually kind of recently.
And then yeah, I just feel like this stuff is like fascinating to me. But we were saying before, like my kids like don't care. It's already common knowledge to them. Like your son will grow up in a world where he's like, yeah, I know. Like it won't
Yeah,
be mind blowing.
aliens. So
he's
what?
like, great. Yeah.
How long do you think it takes them to get here in our time? Like, can they get here in a moment's notice?
It could be instantaneous.
teleportation,
Like
right.
that's what I'm saying. Like between dimensional, their speed might be only what we're seeing as speed. That
Right.
could just be them just showing up, and now they're all of a sudden here, and
Right.
it's not even
Because
like
here's
they're
the thing
moving.
too with
Right.
like history and like just life. Like you gotta like take yourself back 300 years ago. There was no fathomable way that even the top leaders, the smartest people, Thomas Jefferson and them, they could never even imagine getting in a plane and flying. They would be like, that cannot happen. It's theoretically, physically impossible.
Right, right.
And now it just happens every day.
Right.
Where, who knows, 500 years from now, it might be like, yeah, we just travel in between time. There was never a time when we didn't. You forget.
This
you know?
also really lends credence to the fact that like somebody at Apple had a close encounter. That the iPhone was such a leap in technology out of fucking nowhere that somebody stumbled upon a tablet that some alien was swiping,
Oh, right,
and
right,
they
right.
fucking kicked the shit out of the alien and sold it to the masses.
Yeah, they gave Steve Jobs. They go, here's the iPhone and cancer.
but a little tab of acid on top.
Yeah.
What about TV itself as like a hypnosis mechanism?
Oh yeah, dude. Well, the flicker rate on TV is apparently like exactly the amount of whatever that it takes to hypnotize somebody.
Oh,
What do you
really?
mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know this.
Like so
theory.
the way a TV, I'm gonna say it in a dumber way, but more or less the same thing. I've read one sentence on this, but but more or less the way that you look at a TV and all of the lights and the way that they flicker and more or less work together to project the image, it is at the same exact rate that somebody would hypnotize you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, today one of my friends in the group chat, I forgot what I even said. It happened this morning. But he goes, dude, you sound like you have a touch of tism. And he wrote ass burgers. ASSBURGERS. Imagine thinking it's called ass
It's a good name for a new place.
Ass burgers.
Yeah, I screenshotted it. He goes, tism and ass burgers. And then he thinks that that's how you spell it. And I wrote, what? And he goes, you're on the spectrum. I said, it's ass burgers. And then he wrote back, F you. Dude, do you see Mitch McConnell today? This is sick.
He glitched, right?
He is no, they think he glitched, but I think he probably had like a stroke or something.
He glitched? What do you mean he glitched?
Look, he's making a speech and then he just freezes.
Dude, imagine like this.
Wait, what?
Because I think this happens though sometimes, like this one you can kind of
This
like
is
the
a
ones with
cognitive,
Shaquille O'Neal,
like
the ones with Shaquille O'Neal and those are more peculiar. But this is like a very old
What do you
man.
mean the ones with Shaquille O'Neal?
You never seen Shaq
Are you in the
freeze?
conspiracy that you think Shaq is not real Shaq?
I don't know about that, but I know when he freezes and like all that, like that is very scary. And the way he bounces back.
I've never seen
Look
that.
at Shaq freezing. Shaq.
I think there's a conspiracy that Shaq was duplicated.
He might have been. Look at this.
He's joking.
No, he's not. That's the thing. He's not.
He's got to be kidding, right?
That's a joke.
No, he's not. He doesn't even blink.
He's doing it for a while.
You are talented. I give you a little credit on that. A lot of credit. You're very talented.
This is completely fake.
No, it's not. This is real.
None of them are like, yo, Shaq's frozen. He's talking about a triple-double. The guy next to him is frozen.
They're not even. No. Victor Oladipo's
They've all looked at him.
No,
There's no way that's real.
It's real, dude. What isn't it real?
He looks like a cartoon.
He's not breathing or blinking.
That's what I'm saying.
It's real.
Okay, so that's
Look,
it.
he
It cuts
freezes
out.
it. I think he
cuts
freezes
out, and
again.
none of those people, they didn't say anything to him.
No. Look, Shaquille O'Neal frozen online.
Where was Shaquille?
He's still looking. There's
Dude,
no
tell me
way,
right now.
dude.
Why is no one acknowledging it? He hasn't even chimed in on the conversation.
Yeah.
They're coming back from commercial.
Yeah.
Dude, they've all
It's
accepted
totally
that
fake.
Shaq
Well,
is
that's
not
fake.
animal.
That one looks fake now.
Well, why would he do that now? Fake. If the other one wasn't fake. He's good at it. I'll tell you that
He
much.
is excellent at it. He should put on silver paint and go to Times Square right
He's
now.
looking.
Right there. Kenny's right there. Chuck is down there. Where are you? Are you mugging over here?
Oh, that's a joke. That's a joke. They all in on it.
I love the idea of Chris watching this being like, who the Shaq, man?
I mean, they would have said, "What's up here?" Like he's probably like, just like, "I'm gonna freeze."
Here's another
Don't
glitch.
even
Here's a
acknowledge
Draymond.
it.
Do you look
Yeah.
at the Draymond Green glitch? This is another one. This is MK Ultra. Look at this.
Have you seen the Obama serpent one?
I want to see
All
that
right,
one
we're
next.
gonna watch all of these because I can't take this anymore now.
Look at him glitch.
Where's the glitch?
A lot of ups and downs. A lot of ups and downs here.
I didn't see nothing.
Dude, there,
But it's been a heck of a ride, to be honest.
right there.
I really can't complain.
What the?
Looks like it.
What the?
I'm saying it's real shit that happens. It's scary.
Wait, wait. No one's saying anything.
This can't be real.
This is all real. It's real.
It's not.
It's
There's
all
no
real. And you know what
way.
the thing they have in common
And it
is?
only
the vaccine.
Guys, it only happens to NBA players.
No, dude. I'm telling you, when Mitch McConnell just glitched.
Do you ever see the Lionel Messi ones where he is like, there's all these videos going around speculating that he may have autism because he's just like kind of in the background, like either staring completely at the ground for extended amount of time or just like more like kind of like scratching his ear for like a minute while other people are talking. Like he just completely zones out in the middle of social interaction.
I want to see the Obama serpent one too.
I'm sorry. Did anyone? Was this like? Did this make the news? Were people like, what was that?
No, that's the thing. The media picks and chooses what to make like a big deal and what not. The internet is the real.
There's no. The only
internet's the
only
real
thing I'll
truth.
say. The only thing I'll say, and actually,
Pull up some flat Earth literature.
shout out to my boy Troy for giving me that hat. The only thing I'll say is this: when Shaq was frozen, you didn't see his chest, you didn't see breath, you didn't see his eyes blink, you didn't see his. I mean, it was. He's either excellent at it, or that was like I thought it was like just something.
What about Draymond? Draymond froze too.
Was it not something like a brain thing, like a?
But that looked like a video trick, like because him on video looked like it was static,
It's
and
like
the rest
freaky,
of the
right?
video was going.
I wasn't expecting to see that.
I really can't complain.
Right? Like it doesn't even look like him there.
I was a little down, but I found out I was injured and I had to have surgery.
His mouth is open.
Is it?
Yeah, look at his tongue. Yeah, you just freeze.
Weird, man.
Has he addressed it?
No,
Has Shaq addressed his?
no.
Fake. Why wouldn't they
Draymond
address
needs
it?
to. The Shaq one was
Because they think that they're being controlled by MK Ultra and their government psyops, and they can't address it. It's part of their contract.
That's insane.
okay. I think
You
that
think
they'll-
that's what Draymond Green thinks?
I think that
I met. They're part of MK Ultra. Shaq is a spokesperson for the general. Okay? You know what I mean? Like, why? It doesn't make any sense, though.
That's what they're saying. And then look, Gilberto froze and Brother 21. They
Hit me with it. I need to
look
see.
at Gilberto
But
freezing.
Shaq, I guess. So the conspiracy
Why would he not
around-
address it?
They did address the Shaq one where
What did he say?
Ernie, they were kind of like, "Oh, you back there? What were you mugging for the camera a little bit?" They were alluding to the fact that they knew he was doing a bit.
Okay.
Like he wasn't in on the conversation, so he was mugging to the camera and playing a joke.
Okay.
This though was super fucking weird. Like that whole thing where his tongue is moving, but his body isn't going up and down. That was a bizarre one. But so Obama morphing into a serpent. There's like one where his
What?
like it also is a shitty camera, so it just like looks like pixelated or whatever. But it was a big one that was going around for a long time, where his face like kind of just showed snake and then went back to regular dude.
Yeah, it's one of those things where
Obama
listen,
morph serpent?
if you found out that there were actual lizard people, would you be actually
It's gonna be
shocked?
on a no-fly
Is this
list.
it? Is this it?
I think this is it. Yeah,
Obama's alien bodyguard.
it's probably just like
Oh,
a
it's his
cartoon.
body.
Dude, these
Bodyguard.
things are hitting me.
Conspiracy theorists have hit a new high after again accusing the White House of hiding evidence of aliens. This time,
Speak
Dude,
English.
Australians love American conspiracy. Love it.
To a US-Israeli cooperation group. One of his bodyguards was spied on video, looking a bit odd.
Oh yeah, this is it. It wasn't Obama. It was this guy.
This podcast is sponsored by.
BetterHelp, number one. Number two, in our careers, and I have to imagine a lot of other careers, we're making huge decisions, especially we're just talking about this off air, okay? The path of our career, even our relationships, we got to make tough choices, and sometimes the path forward isn't always clear, and that's why I particularly like to use therapy as my weekly kind of mental exercise, my sounding board about what's going on, because it helps you process things.
Right, and it's like anything else. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. That's why with BetterHelp, they make it so easy. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's done entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out this brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, switch therapists anytime for no additional charge.
DeRosa, I mean, it's been a minute, but DeRosa just was talking about how he used it. He can't sing its praises enough. And if you DeRosa is someone who needs to sort some things out.
Yes.
So I would take that as
Yeah.
high praise.
And if you know a thing about DeRosa, and if you know DeRosa, he can sing. Shout out Salsa Windfall.
That's true. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp, guys. Visit BetterHelp.com/HeyBabe to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/HeyBabe.
HelloFresh, baby.
America's #1 meal kit.
We love it. I mean, fall is right around the corner, and HelloFresh is here to help you plan for the busy season ahead with tasty dishes delivered right to your door. Simply choose your recipes, pick your delivery date, then lay back and enjoy the last days of summer knowing dinner is covered.
It makes cooking easy, fun, and dare I say affordable. It's much cheaper than going to the grocery store. And for me, who's a guy who's trying to learn how to cook every once in a while when I have the time and I do one of these things, I feel super accomplished.
Dude, I did it. We family cooked HelloFresh last night. We made one of the Asian noodle dishes. Kids loved it. We loved it.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And if your family is hungry, like all the time, like my kids, then you can add snacks, sides, and even more to your weekly HelloFresh order. Just shop HelloFresh Market. Take your pick from a curated selection of over 100 add-on items.
Go to HelloFresh.com/50HeyBabe and use code 50HeyBabe for 50% off plus free shipping.
That's HelloFresh.com/50HeyBabe. Use the code 50HeyBabe for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's number one meal kit. What's up, everybody? Aliens are real. They finally got unveiled by Congress, so what better time to come see me do stand-up comedy? ChrisDComedy.com for Tiki Wikis. August, we're in Atlantic City. September, we're in L.A., Portland, Seattle, New York City, baby. Woo! Radio City and theater at MSG. And then Las Vegas to round out September. October, we're back in Los Angeles. Then we're in Nebraska, Kansas City, St. Louis, Chicago, Raleigh, North Carolina. And then November, go check them out. ChrisDComedy.com for Tiki Wikis. We also just put Nashville and Washington, D.C. on sale, baby girl.
Woo! If you're listening to this right now and you are in Nashville, I am here. I'm playing the Opry House tonight with the guys. ImpracticalJokersLive.com for tickets. Tomorrow we will be in the Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, and we're rounding out Saturday at the Stifel Theater in St. Louis for 2 shows. Grab those. But I am back on tour after that because I'm filming my special in Chicago in December, and we are going to be at the Hartford Funny Bone, the Syracuse Funny Bone, the Albany Funny Bone, all by September. And then we're hitting Bowling Green, Kentucky, Cincinnati, Toledo, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Wilmington, Macon, Georgia, which I was corrected about many times. Savannah, Athens, Georgia. I'm coming through you. Mount Pleasant, there you go. And then Peoria, Rockford, Cedar Rapids, Springfield, Illinois, Duluth, Minnesota, Appleton, Wisconsin, which just went on sale. So you get those tickets. They're still good ones. Rochester, Davenport, and Elkhart, Indiana. They're all on sale right now. They're all going to be before the end of this year. SalVulcanoComedy.com for tickets. And you know what? Check out some Hey Babe and some Taste Buds merch on our website. We got some good merch, so you should go there if you're a fan and buy something. Don't be...
It does. It's also this, like, what a great exercise to show what your brain does is, like, I saw this 8 years ago, right? And in my head, I've been carrying around the fact that Obama might be a serpent for 8 full years. And then we watch it, and it's some dumb thing about maybe his bodyguard, but probably just a weird
His bodyguard was looking side to side quite often.
Yeah, and it's been disproven. He's like, yeah, guys, I was going through chemo, and that's just what it is.
Also, it's like odd movements. He's scanning the crowd. He's doing his exact
job.
This
guy? This guy is wild. This guy, Brian Johnson, he spends millions to reverse aging. He doesn't drink liquid after 2 p.m. because he wants to sleep like a perfect 8 hours without peeing. Yeah, he's injected himself with his 17-year-old son's plasma.
Whoa.
No, this guy is wild. I watched the whole YouTube video on him. It's nuts. $2 million a year on intense regime to reduce his biological age, and his body operates as like a 19-year-old. He's like in his mid-40s.
Weird.
It's weird, dude. It's almost... He's saying, because the thing is, oh, well, this is all ego, you're blah, blah, blah. He's like, I'm doing it with my own, this is what I want to do with my money. I'm not getting in your way at all. I just want to do it for me. It's not hurting you. Leave me alone. Which I agree with.
Well, I don't have any problem with it morally. I am curious as to why. Like, why would you even want to be in your 40s and moving like
can you hit this article, Pip? Because this is very interesting, Brian Johnson.
Maybe it's bigger than Brian Johnson. Maybe he's doing it for humanity.
Oh,
what if he would? But I've never heard of anyone else doing it. But
no, he's got like
that's him.
That's a weird photo. That looks like that looks like the photo in the green room of Uncle Vinny's.
Wait, is that what he looked like, and then left is what he is now? That's him.
That's his son.
No.
Why does he look like hot Anthony Cumia?
He does.
Yeah. What kind of? I'm sorry. What kind of picture is this?
This is blood transfusions keep his internal organs young. 45-year-old multimillionaire attempting to slow down his aging process. Yeah, but good go like his. It's wild, like the food he eats, like everything he puts in his body is like perfectly measured. The workouts are perfectly timed, and then he will not drink liquid after 2 p.m.
He's gonna end up being like a broke 21-year-old kid.
Yeah,
he spent all his money to get to 21, just be broke, and then start eating ramen, and it's gonna be really ironic.
Yeah. He sold his business for $800 million. What was his business?
All right.
Good for him.
Let me ask you a question. When you get to that dollar amount, who's calculating that? Who's crunching numbers and it's like, all right, I'll sell it to you for 800 million.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, so you mean to tell me it's not worth 750 million?
Yeah.
Who's like pinching the numbers at that point?
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. I take 22. Oh, he only eats one meal a day at 8:30 in the morning. He eats 2,250 calories, and then one meal, 23-hour fast. That's what he does. He eats one meal a day. Those are all his calories, and then he doesn't eat anything all day. Wow.
Weird.
That's big now, the 1 meal a day diet.
Yeah,
It's called only 1 meal a day. So what is it? OMAD, 1 meal a day. OMAD diet. OMAD. Yeah.
Have you seen the footage of Al Gore flying with a plane full of blood? Like he just has coolers of blood in his plane because he just runs through children's blood.
This guy's clearly not putting any money into his teeth. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I know. But then it's like I see guys like this, and then I know there's different cases. But then it's like today I watched a video on like how all the presidents died and what their last words were. I was just killing time, and I saw that like most of the U.S. presidents, starting from like George Washington, all live into like their 80s. Like John Quincy Adams died when he was 90. Like, and they weren't doing any of this shit.
No,
they would just drink. They were just it's just genetics, man. It's like you can't get around that.
By L. Ron Hubbard.
No, I mean, you see those people that are like 95 years old and just ripping packs of cigarettes every day, and it's like, what's the secret to life? And it's live hard. It's like, right. Not for me.
Do you know Thomas Jefferson and John Adams? Thomas Jefferson was the second president of the United States. John Adams was the fourth. Do you know they died on the same day, July 4th? They died on the same day, July 4th, within 2 hours of each other in the same year, the 50th anniversary of our country. I think they died, whatever 50 years after 1776 was. They died in the same day, and Thomas Jefferson died first, and John Adams, who was states away, again, this is the 1800s.
They both had like barbecues or whatever?
Yeah.
Word got to him. He died of a broken heart.
They were roasting Native Americans. But John Adams' last words were something about, oh, Thomas Jefferson beat me. Something like that. Like he saw Thomas Jefferson must have in his dying moments, and Thomas Jefferson had actually died 3 hours before. It's trippy. And then a year later, I think it was James Madison or John Monroe, one of them also died on July 4th. You have 3 presidents that just died on July 4th.
If you could pick, is that the day you would die?
January 6th. Man tries to smell Kim Kardashian's booty.
What was that?
I mean, what a funny thing to do. That's a funny picture. Oh my God. He got in there too.
That's wild. He absolutely got a little whiff.
Good for him. Did you see that guy that paid all that money to get like WNBA first row seats and then pulled out sheets and pillows and fully fell asleep during the game? It's so f***ed up, dude.
Yeah. He's a YouTube stunt guy, though. He did that. I think he also got banned from the NBA for something. Kind of,
I got to be honest with you, like all the YouTube and Instagram accounts now, like, you know, I still follow them, like Jerry's and all that repost the good stuff. They're all fake now.
Yeah.
It's like it's like become like annoying where it's like it's all just staged.
It's also like what a nightmare it seems to be to live on 6th Street in Austin. And like is every single person doing man on the street?
Yeah.
Like if you're not blackout drunk stumbling all over yourself, then you have a microphone and a camera
Right.
and you're asking people their body count. It's like how much would you hate that?
It's bad. See, here's what we're talking about: the pyramids in Antarctica. This is real shit, dude. This is. It's not.
Oh yeah,
It's not conspiracy anymore. It's like now there's that's a real pyramid in Antarctica. So they're like, how is that there? And they're saying it's probably because like the poles. It used to be warm in Antarctica. It used to be like green and like that's just like. But they're like, well, how can the same Egyptian pyramids be there?
And everyone's talking about it. Like you see Jack 23, who's actually verified. He says aliens be putting their satellites left and right in Earth.
Yes. Well, we got the news. Yeah. What did Snooki say? Shout out Snooki. We should have Snooki on the pod.
Oh, she'd be
great.
Awesome. Yeah.
Who's this now? Mom lifting newborns out of their wombs during C-sections is a new trend. That's genuinely disgusting.
Why is it a trend?
Yeah, well,
it's a trend. I don't need, so people are doing it to be trendy, and it's going to stop.
Yeah, I don't need to lift my baby out of my uterus.
I think that if I was a woman and I was having a C-section,
What is that?
and I could be sure nothing was going to go awry, I would want to take my baby out
Dude,
of my
I gotta
stomach.
be. You know what's crazy? I've been podcasting with you now for about 2.5 hours. You've said the word awry 3 times today.
I don't think I said awry
You
once.
said awry in the Jared Fried episode, and I'm going to ask Joe if you said it during Taste Buds.
Did I say awry?
Check.
I can't recall.
Check. I want you to get. Pimp. I want you to start in a. I want
You
you
were
to
like
start,
Michael Dukakis just there at the hearings.
I want you to start in a rye counter.
I really would feel like
How do you spell it?
AWRY?
Yes.
Wow.
But I really feel like I would know if I said awry.
You definitely said a rye. You definitely said a rye.
Like
last episode.
I didn't though. I
You
didn't. In what context?
You said something to Jared Fried. You said a rye. I know you said it.
You're probably
Okay.
talking about something not going as planned.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is. We are on the same topic, so things
Yes.
are going awry.
They are
it's
going awry.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of awry and things, whatever, I took a cab today to the ferry. Then I took the ferry, but in the cab ride over, the driver, Mr. Ibrahim, I recognized him. I said, "Wait a second, you work at the bagel store?" He was like, "Oh yeah, I also work at the bagel store." He goes, "I work 20 hours a day. I just came from the bagel store." So I'm like, "Wait a second, you just worked overnight, and then you come in to drive this Uber?" He goes, "Yeah, that's what I do every day."
He's driving you on no sleep.
That's what my concern was. Like, when's the last time? I was like, when's the last time you slept? And this will come out on Thursday, but today's Wednesday. He goes, Monday, and I was like, the last time you slept was Monday. He goes like, no sleep Tuesday, and I was like, okay. I was like, do you feel like you're
What
safe?
was his rating?
Well, he was good. Car's a little smelly, but he was good. But
Probably lives in it.
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
And but anyway, he was saying that every day he drives. He works 16 hours at the bagel store and then drives
Wow.
4 hours, and then he sleeps roughly about 2 hours. He's like, because I have to pick up my kids and do whatever. He said, so for me,
God bless.
I swear to God, he goes, so, and I said, he said he's been here 8 years. I said, in 8 years, be honest, how many days of work have you missed? He goes, I've never missed a day of work. He goes, but in 8 years, I've only had 2 days where I haven't worked, 2 days off, but I didn't miss them. The boss closed the shop. And I'm like, so in 8 years, you've only taken 2 days off for vacation. He was like, not vacation. I just didn't go into work. He goes, instead, I did
That's including
housework.
the pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He never. I asked him that. He said, I never stopped during the pandemic.
Wait, so does he only see his kids on the ride home from school?
Well, he said he was like, I'm from Pakistan. He said, so the way it works in my culture is I work, my wife stays home, and then she raises the kids. It's not about me anymore. He was like, it's about my wife and the kids.
Wow.
And that's how he lives.
Wow.
And he was like, are you going to work? I was like, not really. I was like, I am, but not anything.
I am, and
You're
it's
like,
going to be a long day
I
of
record
edibles.
one day
Yeah.
and it's good for a month.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, holy shit. I mean, I was like, listen, man, I can get you a promo code for HelloFresh. That's the best I could do. Can get you a discount. But but anyway, he was saying, then he kind of just went on like a rant about how like anybody who complains about not being able to find work in this country is ridiculous. He's like, I can't believe when I hear young kids say that there's no jobs in the U.S.
Well, he doesn't, but also he has to work 22 hours a day.
Well, that's what I said. I said, well, you're taking all of them.
He is a pretty high threshold.
Yeah.
But he said he told me all his expenses. He pays $4,000 a month in rent for his house. I don't know why.
What?
He pays $1,000 car insurance.
$4,000 a month rent?
In rent, he rents a house.
Okay.
He said he pays $1,000 a month in car insurance.
Because of Uber.
He said between everything, all the hours he works, 20 hours, 20 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week, 20 hours a day. He said he makes about $70,000 a year between everything.
What?
Yeah, working 7 days a week. He makes about $70,000 a year.
That's
I was
tough.
like, damn, and his wife doesn't work. He's like, so every dollar,
She's lazy.
yeah. So, but I said,
Hold on, he found a lazy wife.
I know. When I told him, I was like, listen, he was like, I gave, it gives you the option, 15%, 20, 25. I said, I got to get 15 inflation. 15%. No, it's one of those things where like you hear him talk and then you're like, everything just gets put in perspective where you're like, yeah, I mean, everything, I'm fine. Things are fine. When you start to complain about everything.
Oh, God, yeah.
We'll all just do it. Every human, but he does look like he does look like, I mean, at any minute his heart will explode.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you can't. That's not a healthy way to live.
I know. I said to him, I was like, "You have time to get to the gym?" And he just turned around and he looked at me. There was nothing like that. And I was like, "No, yeah, but it's."
He should ask for a raise at the bagel shop.
I know. And
Does
he said
he
he
just eat bread?
Well, I said, because the food is so good at that bagel store. And he was like, I eat. He's like, all I do is eat. And he was like, his fat's bulging out everywhere.
Oh, it was
bad. Yeah. And
it's actually not good to be that. Oh no, he's not in the Uber 20 hours. So
he's in the bagel
sedentary.
store, but he said a lot of times he'll get to the bagel store and the boss will tell him he fucked up and he's got to go to the other bagel store. But he said he can only drive. He only drives his car for the Uber because he doesn't want to mess up the he doesn't want to.
God bless this man.
Run it to the ground.
How long was this Uber?
About 12 minutes. And then 12, 13
He's like
minutes.
1 minute.
Yeah. And then he kept talking, and I asked him if he could quiet down so I could meditate. But yeah, man. What is this domino world record? Oh, no.
Oh my God.
Get the... What?
What's happening?
Wow.
Okay, so she didn't do it. It had to go all the way up to the top.
How did it fall from the top?
That was
What happened at the top?
Yeah, I don't get it. Oh, I guess because it got like...
looked like a controlled demolition to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I was going to say, yeah.
That's a real building 7, if you know what I mean. Did I hear somebody say pull it?
It doesn't make any sense, though. It broke from the middle. wait a minute.
Imagine you saw me falling from the top. I was just spinning on it with my open ass.
Wait a minute. Who's how and who stacked that?
Yeah.
It's 60 feet tall. That's gotta be a million dominoes.
It's literally, that's the thing. I mean, like, people, we have time. You think you don't have time?
No. This is insane. That can't be a real thing because, like, think about that means none of those million dominoes could even flutter during the whole creation of that, all the way up to that. What does that look like to you? 40 feet, 50 feet? I don't even know.
Maybe they like dropped it in sections or something.
Like they pre-assembled it and dropped it?
Maybe. But I don't know. I mean, the idea that you could be like half or even 3/4 of the way done and accidentally set off the entire thing. That's crazy.
Yeah, what do the comments say? That's where we find the truth. Wow, how long did that take to create for it to collapse? We want to see the view from the dude holding the camera. What? Oh, because they're saying it's not real?
This is not dominoes.
I wish that it had gone around the tower in loops and then brought it down. This was super quick and not satisfying. F you, Sagar. That's his name, Sagar.
Is there anything more
What?
the internet than watching 120,000 carefully placed dominoes fall in succession and be like, not worth it.
Pass.
Not worth it.
This was
I'll
Joe,
never get that 10 seconds.
This was Joe DeRosa at his bar.
Why is this guy eating ramen through his nose?
Is that up his nose? Oh, he's got a deviated septum.
He does. Yeah, because it's not coming out the other side, or is it? Oh no,
it is coming back. Like
he's swallowing it.
Yeah, I think so.
He doesn't
He's just
need
swallowing
to do
it through
that.
his nose.
That's one way to eat something.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I had a friend who's done so much drugs that they could basically like pull things through their nose or just like out the back.
What
of their
happens?
mouth.
Your bone melts in your nose?
The cartilage does. Yeah,
Jesus.
like the membrane first, and then the cartilage and everything. It's crazy.
Yeah.
My buddy, I think I've told you this story, but my buddies used to work on the new Yankee Stadium, building it.
Yeah.
You know, in any job site, there's quite a bit of illicit drug use. And,
Sure.
so my buddy is apparently the foreman brought everybody over and is like cursing them out because he's hearing people are on the job site. So he looks over at my other buddy who is like he's the number
In
one
that moment,
culprit.
yeah.
Looks over at him and his nose is bleeding while the guy is giving them this speech.
Oh my God.
And the guy's like looking at him, yelling at him. He's like does this, gets blood streak right up his shirt, had no idea, just kept on moving.
It's blood, sweat, and tears making that thing. That's what he should have said. I would have hit
You ever
behind
do cocaine, babe? You
What's
ever
that?
do cocaine?
No, I never did. I'm
did
too
cocaine?
nervous. I don't have a.
You ever do it, pimp?
I don't have a desire.
No, everyone I've been around who's done it are so annoying. I can't.
Really?
I don't
You
wanna
don't like
it.
hearing the same childhood story over
Yeah.
and over and over?
All right, Mike, what did it feel like?
I want to talk about seed.
Okay.
But before I even start, because this is kind of funny, what happened to me, I was on the road 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And it was in that situation where my stomach was unsettled and I was about to go out on stage for 60 to 70 minutes.
Right.
And I had that feeling of like, oh my God, I have a nervous stomach. I have poop anxiety, basically.
Right.
I was like, should I run to the bathroom and delay the show a few minutes and try to do this now?
Right.
Or hold it in? And I think that is kind of thing gets solved if you have better gut health and
Yeah.
better digestion.
Right.
And that's what brings me to talking about seed.
And that's why I've been telling you about Seed, specifically Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic, because it promotes the regularity of your poop. You're a guy, you've been telling me for years that sometimes you poop or pee only once a week. I mean, it's insane.
It is insane.
Once a week, you do one poop a week, one pee a week. And I said, Sal, that's not good. But that's why we're
It
getting...
sounds convenient because it's just like, a 1 hour pee, poop, and then I'm done. But like, it's not good for you.
It's not good for you
Yeah.
at all, and you're going to bust. And everybody poops, so make it a healthy one. Seeds DS-01 Daily Symbiotic. They help promote healthy, regular poops. By all you got to do is take 2 capsules a day. It's really that easy. And you've told me also you've never had an issue swallowing.
Absolutely not. It's an effective way to start supporting your gut microbiome, which ultimately impacts your skin, your heart, and various other connections to the body. Okay.
What's in it? 24-strain broad-spectrum probiotic and prebiotic.
Pro and prebiotic.
Pro
That's
and
important.
pre, formulated for digestive, gut, immune, and additional systemic benefits. 53.6 billion AFUs, Papa.
And the one other thing I want to mention about this is, one sec, the capsule and capsule that they do.
Love it.
Protects you against stomach acid and bile and salts through digestion.
Yeah.
So that's big for me because I get that bad. But the other thing is it uses an average of 100% of what you're swallowing.
Dude,
And
that's what you need.
the goal is to
Yeah.
swallow. When you swallow,
You wanna
get
do 100%.
of the benefits.
Yeah. So start a new healthy habit today. Visit seed.com/heybabe. Use the code HeyBabe to redeem 30% off your first month of Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic. That's seed.com/heybabe. Use code HeyBabe.
It's awesome when it's awesome, and it's a nightmare when it that's what drugs are. They're the best until they're not, and when they're not, they're the absolute worst.
And can you get around Coke not being the worst? Sometimes it just depends if you get a bad batch.
No, it just depends if you just like keep doing it. Like just the more the return on investment gets lower and lower because your tolerance goes up. What you did, like just where you go to get it gets weirder and weirder. I mean, I ended up in like a 1-bedroom like home in Livonia, New York. One wall painted dark blue.
Jerry?
Jerry's
Jerry's place?
you know Jerry. One dark blue, one red, one like black wall, and then like kind of a like the wallpaper being ripped off and a flickering TV in the corner. It literally was a scene out of a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm 19 and I'm buying Coke in Livonia, New York, off campus. Like, what the am I doing?
Right.
And I was a recreational. The worst I was every weekend for 2 months. It's the worst I ever got. But like even that, just to get it because it was so fun.
Yeah, there's no. I'm sure fears come along with it, but like especially now with this other shit. But
Oh, yeah.
you wouldn't just feel that your heart would just explode.
Yeah, that's kind of part of the fun though. Also at this point, I was really I had like kind of a death wish a little bit. Like all of our friends were dying, so we redlined it like hardcore at this point. All my buddies. And Chris sinking deeper into himself on the edible.
Call me Draymond.
I did just watch you glitch a bit.
No.
But yeah, I prepared myself for death on more than one occasion.
Wow, dude.
Where I'm just like, all right, it feels like my heart is racing in somebody's fist.
Right.
Like while somebody's holding
that
it.
was scary.
Like you
That's
think
crazy.
you probably had small heart attacks, like
No, but like arrhythmia and
For
stuff
sure.
like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
I
Like,
love Annie Lennox.
Dude, I remember being in session 73 on the Upper East Side, and throughout the course of a day, I had 3 triple stack ecstasy. This is back when press pills were a thing in New York City. 3 triple stack ecstasy and 1.5 grams of Coke over the course of an hour, like over the course of a day. And I'm just sitting there like watching the music, chewing through my bottom teeth, just being like, well, at least there's people here. So if I drop, they'll call the hospital.
Wow, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Like
so you
that.
weren't really nervous about dying. You were
No.
more like, if it's going to happen,
Yeah.
like it'll be cool.
There's at least there's people.
What's
What
a
was the place you were
triple
at?
stack?
Session 73.
Still
It's a
there?
triple dose. So like a stack is like, so I took 3 triple doses of like crazy press pill X. Far more than any human. This is not an endorsement. This is not being, this is cool. This is me saying like that could have easily and should have probably killed me.
What do you think the most embarrassing thing you ever did on drugs was?
Maybe this
Start
podcast.
comedy.
Popped out my kid.
I don't know. I've definitely. I mean, I got arrested in Villanova because I was it started with me punching my father in the face, and then I ran away and like stayed with my buddies. So I just never drank up until that point in my life. Went there. They're all like training, more or less, drinking all year, and I jumped right into the pool, drank their speed, smoked weed their speed, the whole thing. Immediately passed out in an off-campus house. Woke up with like 3 girls poking me like I'm the body in Stand By Me.
Wow.
Like just like woke up. They're like, I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, you're in my room. Get the fuck out. I stumble out, like fall down the steps, careen through this party, go to the backyard. Haven't seen my friends. Pulled my pants down to piss. I start throwing up as well.
No.
Somebody goes, hey, man, what's going on? And I go, Tim, like my friend Tim, is that you? And he's like, yeah, come out front. I pulled my underwear up, kept my pants around my ankles, apparently.
Wow.
Penguin waddled over there. By the time I got this close, saw it was a cop. He grabbed me, pulled me to the front of the fucking of the house. Tim. It wasn't Tim at all.
Wow.
And then he breathalyzed. This is all like told to me. So this is like.
But I think they have to tell you. I think they have to tell you if they're Tim.
They do.
They do have to tell you if that's him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. There's
if you're not, you know, you got to tell me.
It's an undercover Tim rule. I got it. Yeah, and he stuck a breathalyzer in my face. Somebody was told I blew a .4, which I don't know if that's like physically possible, but the cop kept telling people I was legally blind. Like just kept saying this kid is truly blind. Like he can't say it. I'm just like on the hood of his car. Can't see a
oh my god!
Cuffed. He's like, all right.
What did you do?
Yeah, what did you do?
I was
disorder?
drunk in public. But meanwhile, I wasn't drunk in public. I was in somebody's backyard. But when he pulled me out front, that's when I'm in public. So it was kind of entrapment or whatever.
Yeah.
But of course, I deserved it and earned every bit of it and have 0 leg to stand on. And I was underage. I wasn't 21. That was totally the big one that I just forgot. So he was like, I'll release you to to your friend if they're over 21. So I called Tim, who was not 21. And I called him to come get me. Didn't tell him there was a cop, just said, come get me. I need to show you something. He showed up, saw there were cops.
Tim wasn't even there.
He wasn't even there. He was like, yeah, he was gone eating pizza somewhere.
But he was there.
He was there. Yeah.
Him, the shaman.
Yes, yeah. The shaman that eventually married me.
The shaman from the wedding. He had like a tiger hat on.
Yeah, he was Tim the tiger shark.
Chris is talking into a bottle of seltzer.
I thought you knew that.
I did it. Oh shit. Oh my shit. Oh my shit. My daughter's been saying, oh my shit. Every morning she goes, oh my shit. And then I took Delilah on my 8-year-old daughter on the train the other day. And first time ever on the train. And she goes, Daddy, why are there so many people on the train? I said, because it's public. She goes, do they have Catholic ones? Like a public school, Catholic school
like
bit.
private train.
Yeah. I was like, that's funny.
That is funny.
Yeah, I was like, you're pretty. People around her were laughing. I was like, she's not retarded.
The crew is obsessed with death right now, my son. And so he'll just like constantly be like, Dad, you're going to pass away.
Oh,
You're going to pass away.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, what the dude.
Oh my god,
dude, he killed a bug the other day, and I was like, dude, don't kill the bug. He's like, why did it die so easily? And I was like, that's not the question. You should ask it all. And I was like, oh, because they have I was like trying to answer and give him information. I'm like, they have a different body than us that can't take as much pressure and impact. They have a thin exoskeleton. And he goes, I want a thin exoskeleton. I'm like, why? And he's like, I want to feel what it's like to die.
Oh boy, he said that to you.
Me too. In this moment, man.
I would be quaking. That's crazy.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
Get
dude,
his
I know.
mind off of that.
He's like, your son's like, Crew's like, where? You're like, where do you want to go on vacation? But he goes, Gilgo Beach.
Dude, I was a morbid little kid too. My mom got me books on reincarnation because I wouldn't stop talking about death. So she was just like, "Hey, you might get a second
That's
shot."
wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Death is I have a literal crutch. I go
Yeah.
to therapy and talk. I can't take it.
No kidding.
I think about it
Death and
constantly,
taxes.
every day.
More so.
Yeah,
I
no.
told you.
Yeah, man. I am a basket case. Really, I really am.
No, I think for me with we'll be right back. For me, dude, you look, Mike, because we've talked about these colors, but you look Ukrainian. You look like you're like the face on the Ukrainian flag. Why did we paint the studio with the Ukrainian flag?
Like what's the president of Ukraine?
Oh, Vladimir Zelensky.
Yeah,
Vladimir
you look like him a little
Zelensky.
bit.
All right, I'll
Doesn't he
take
look
that.
like
Could you imagine Mike
take
Cannon
that.
plays Zelensky in like
That
the
would be
movie
sick.
on Lifetime?
Doesn't he have like pepper? Salt
I'd have to
pepper?
take HGH.
He pulls off salt and pepper like the
No,
best
man.
of anybody.
You and
That's-
Casey Joseph, you're just unbelievable.
It's
and
weird
Richard
that
Gere.
You don't look older. You
No?
look no. It's
That's nice.
You look younger with gray hair.
Well, dude, I mean, we saw those old pictures of us when we were
Dude, pull
young,
'em
and
up.
it's like it's
Well, your beard
jarring.
isn't. So it actually looks like you dye it.
I know people ask me if I do
Yeah.
all
No,
the
it's
time.
natural, dude.
All
He's the
the
silver
time.
fox. He's been obsessed with death since he's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were not there actually.
But I told you that, and it's a bit, but this is true. Is like in 4th grade, I was so obsessed with death, and then my mom got me the book on reincarnation, and then we learned about the civil rights movement, and I had like a crazy emotional reaction to it in class. I cried, and then I came home and cried, and I told my mom that the reason I'm so emotional is because I'm Martin Luther King Jr. reincarnated.
Oh man! And you stay with the same family?
Yeah.
They kept you.
That'd be so funny if
Nurtured me to
if, like
adulthood.
you're just walking around like casually in conversation, just like saying the N-word, and they're like, "You can't say that." You're like, "I'm Martin Luther King Jr." You can't say it.
That's why I feel so comfortable cheating on my wife.
Oh Jesus, Lord!
Yeah. What is this Gerber? Beefy 5-layer burrito Gerber food. I would give that to my kids. If my baby still was eating Gerber, I would have to give it to her, and we'd have to taste it as the parents.
Yeah, you gotta do a blast of that.
Beefy 5-layer burrito.
Have you tasted every baby food that they've had?
I tasted them
Every
all. I
single
tasted
one,
breast
right?
milk. I tasted every single
What'd you
one.
think about the titty milk?
I didn't mind it.
I drank it. But I was forced to. It was just a real hot sesh. No, on the show.
You had to drink breast milk on the show. Who's breast milk?
A friend of a friend.
Wow.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was disgusting.
Isn't it wild though
She
that
should
it's
eat
more
pineapple.
Yeah,
No, I don't know.
it works that way too.
It's more disgusting for us to drink breast milk than it is cow milk.
No, you mean the other way around? It's more disgusting for us to drink cow milk than it is breast milk.
No, we get more disgusted by drinking human milk, which is crazy because we're drinking milk from another animal.
Oh, so
But
we're
you'll
saying the
drink-
same thing.
But it's interesting how like you won't drink, like there's men and women they won't drink milk, but they'll drink cum. They won't
Yeah.
drink breast milk, but they'll drink cum. If you give them a jar of cum, they drink it quicker.
How
than
do
a
you,
jar
how
of-
do you know this about people?
I saw it on
seen
Family
someone
Feud.
be like, "I'll drink this, but not this."
I'm just saying.
Breast milk was 3rd slot, cum 2nd.
I'm just saying, as a hypothetical, it's just strange to me that like you'll drink a bodily fluid like cum, but you won't.
We
drink
surveyed
breast
100
milk.
people who drink cum and
Yeah,
breast milk.
Steve Harvey's out there. Who drinking cum?
Show me cum. All right.
I feel like breast milk is more intimate, though. Like just because of that it's not just fully liquid. It's like it's got some pulp,
Yeah,
some
it's got
human
some-
pulp.
yeah, it's
you
some
know?
pulp, yeah.
So it just feels like you're kind of drinking a lot of their body.
It's apparently it's like gold. It's liquid gold.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. Especially in the beginning, that first the beginning
Colostrum
one.
and all that
Colostrum,
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I remember that.
Yeah, I can't believe you remembered it either.
I threw myself a funeral birthday party from inside my own coffin. Spicy. What does that mean, pimp? Are you high? Did you take an edible? Yeah. When?
With
An edible when you did.
Why do they make me cough? Is that a weird thing?
That's maybe that's
dry
like,
mouth probably. You get in dry mouth.
Oh yeah.
I would imagine.
Really? Yeah, but I know what dry mouth is. It's not that. I always cough when I take edibles.
You're getting dust debris down your
Maybe
throat.
you got a little allergic reaction.
Ah,
Could be.
seriously.
I got an allergic reaction when I did mushrooms.
What happened?
I've only done it twice. I got flush. My throat got scratchy.
No
my eyes
shit.
got watery. I got past it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was terrific.
Yeah,
The
that's
next
the
time I did
best.
it, that all happened again, but I didn't take enough, and then nothing happened. So
You know
I just
where I
got
think
the reaction.
Chris would thrive, especially leading into maybe a mushroom trip or something more, whatever, is acid. I feel like you would like. I feel like you would like acid because it's less disassociative than mushrooms in the sense that you feel very present and social.
Oh, is
in
that
it.
true?
Dude?
Oh,
when
I thought the opposite.
See, I did too, but when I took acid, it felt like how I think Molly or ecstasy should feel. It was 100% euphoric. I obviously saw trails and hallucinated a bit. There were no goblins or any of that.
I always hear
cartoon
goblins,
shit.
and then the trails is just mushrooms. Like,
Yeah,
Can't,
but it-
there's
but
no
it was like-
legal dose. There's no known dose to overdose on acid or LSD. You cannot do it.
no,
No, it could
acid?
just be tainted though.
Can't you fry your brain?
Well, if it's tainted, but they're saying like actual.
Yeah.
You can't overdose on LSD. It's an impossible thing.
Well,
If there's stuff in it, that's not pure LSD.
have you ever heard that? I think this is like one of those old things that gets passed around spirituality communities or whatever. But there was a thing where a guy showed up to a monk monastery and he talked to him about how hallucinogenics have helped expand his mind and created empathy and understanding, and his consciousness feels like it's on the level of a monk. And the monk goes, "Oh yeah," and he took 50. He took all 50 of his tabs of acid and then just waited with him for a few hours and didn't feel anything. And the guy asked him why, and he goes, "'Cause I'm already there, man."
No.
He didn't need the drug at all. He had already ascended to that level of consciousness. Any type of spirituality awakening or anything that you could possibly glean, he's already done it through meditation.
But you think he's bullshit?
no,
You think it's real?
I think it could be, yeah. Have you ever meditated? I mean, you do, right?
Yeah, but
Do you ever feel
not
like you
consistently
astral
at all.
project
Like
or anything
zero,
like that?
absolute zero consistency.
Same. I went up to the TM center and I took it for like a week or two, the training.
Yeah.
I had a teacher, a dedicated teacher and everything. I never really followed through with it. You got to do it twice a day, 20 minutes each time. And what they preach is like letting
Practice
just
what you preach.
yeah, it's just you basically repeat, your
Mantra?
Yeah. And you kind of just like don't think. You let just things come to the surface and just move away, whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
There was only one time during that training that I went to meditate and I closed my eyes and then he came back in and he's like, "All right." And I was like, "What do you mean all right?" And he goes, it was 20 minutes. And
Oh,
I
cool.
thought it was maybe 2 minutes.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's the only time I've ever had that one experience like that.
Do you do floats?
No, you know what? I bought three tickets to go.
Yeah,
I got three
yeah.
tickets as a gift, actually.
I
and
think
then,
that's how they sustain their business.
Yeah.
Is people buying tickets and,
And then
never
never
going.
COVID hit,
Yeah.
and I never went.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome
Wait,
though.
you
because
did a sensory deprivation tank? You've
I've
done
done
it?
a bunch of those, yeah, and they're great because it's a similar thing where you're not sure if you just napped or you went somewhere else,
Right.
Because and also you can have your eyes completely
It doesn't
open.
matter.
It doesn't matter. It still looks like you're behind your lids, like you are. Your eyes are fighting for light, so you can actually hallucinate because it'll just play tricks
Oh,
on
they don't
you.
give you anything. You're just
No.
laying in the tank.
You're just laying in the tank, and if you let I can hallucinate just standing still. If I don't even take anything, I could allow my eyes to relax to a point where I see at least trails.
Oh, wow.
And so I can do that in a tank, and it lets shit run all over the place, and there's no sound whatsoever, and you truly feel like you're kind of suspended. You're not in any.
It's zero gravity.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the water is your exact body temperature. You're floating because it's filled with salt and
Right.
other shit, and you just can't see, hear anything. The only thing that sucks is sometimes you like itch your eye and then you get 6 gallons of salt right in your retina and you want to kill yourself.
But how long?
How are the
long you
acoustics? Like, did you ever just try to sing like a riff or something in there?
Yeah.
I never have. Where
Where have you done it?
Idea, though.
You go to like
That's a great
Do
idea.
you go to like a center?
I mean, they have places all over the city. Brooklyn Float is a place I've gone to. I have one in Rockland that I go to all the time. Well, not all the time.
It's the new
Like
tanning
how
salon.
often
Yeah.
should you do it?
I don't know. I do it once or twice a year, just as kind of like a.
What?
Just nothing.
Yeah.
Your face is making me laugh. Your face is making me laugh.
Continue. Because I want to do it, but what happens if you can't you drown?
No.
How?
No, isn't it not deep enough to drown?
I mean, I guess a puddle is deep enough, but
Right.
you have to really, really panic and freak out.
How do you get out? Can you push it out?
it's
from
There's
buoyant.
both
just the
sides?
door. Yeah,
buoyant.
It's easy.
But how do you find the door if you're seeing in full
You
darkness?
feel around. You feel around. There's also like an emergency light. Like there's a whole setup to where you're not like it's not a problem. You're fine.
How big is the circumference around you? Like, can you extend your arms?
You can, yeah.
Oh, it's that
yeah,
big.
Yeah, but
Then you could move.
you'll then like if you float like 8 inches, you'll
Right.
bump 8 inches this way, you'll bump.
Okay.
So it's not infinite, but you're definitely like it's enough.
Right.
It's enough to where
That's
you're like,
cool.
whoa, this is wild.
Yeah. And you've been high doing it, obviously.
Yeah, I've taken a shitload of edibles.
Because you
did
Because it's
edibles
too-
and then
I
went.
took 300 milligrams once at 2 hours before I went in. So by the time I got there, it was like the weirdest exchange to even get into the place because I'm just on the fucking moon, full bore edibles, and the lady's like, "Hi, what's your name? You have an appointment?" I'm like, I like slid my phone across the desk, didn't say
Do
a
you
word.
go in naked or in a bathing suit?
Nude.
You have to be nude?
Yeah, full nude.
Oh, you got to be.
Which
Do they
that
change
feels
out the
weird
water?
because sometimes your stupid dick, like
Goes above
it just
the-
like it either it like you ever drop a droplet on like a straw thing and you see it curl. It's like
oh, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
on
yeah,
the straw cover. It's like you do that, you get your dick wet a little bit and it kind of like goes up and then over to the other side.
If you wanted to, though, could you jerk off in the tank?
I guess
Yeah,
you
but
could.
I mean,
I'm not doing it then. I'm not going.
Are you laying down or you're standing up?
There's several kinds. So
How
there
do
are.
you do this, how do you stand up and deprive yourself?
I don't know. I don't know
That's just
why
being having the
people
lights
do
off in
that,
your
but I
room,
do
yeah.
think people do that.
Okay.
I think there's like a stand-up pod to where that just means that you can stand, but the whole thing is laying down. And then also there's just a lay down pod to where it's like a tanning bed. You
Yeah.
open it
and you
get out
can't
like that.
you can't hear anything, see anything, smell anything.
You're deprived.
You can't even smell anything.
No.
You can't smell your own skin.
No. I mean, like I said, the only thing that is tough is you find out how many cuts you have on your body immediately.
Because of the
And-
salt.
Because of the salt.
How far is the salt water up to? Where in your body?
I mean, enough to float to like the top of it, so it's like at least your body deep.
So
like 6 inches.
breathing control has nothing to do with it.
No.
You could let all of the air out of your body and not it's still buoyant.
Can
Yeah,
you see if
yeah,
anyone's ever drowned in a sensory deprivation tank? Because it sounds like somebody would drown from this.
It sounds like somebody, if they took like a crazy sedative or a hallucinogen that they weren't comfortable with,
died.
then yeah,
It's a good name for it. It's a good
See
name
if
for a
someone's
gin.
drowning.
Hallucinogen.
That is a good
Right?
man. That's great.
fun.
Move over, Ryan
family
Reynolds.
of women died. Look, she died in the stress relieving flotation pod.
But it was a very
How'd
calming.
she die? Walked to a health spa to use a gift certificate.
71.
71. She'd never been in a float tank. So she died in the
wait,
float tank.
So what happened? We said the doors, walked out of the doors of the floats, wheeled out, and she
She
drowned.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like she lived a full life.
How?
I mean,
Go down.
she paid the extra and got deprived of everything.
She truly ascended. Maybe she just actually meditated and won.
She's a platinum member of the deprivation. Oh man, that's terrible. That's
rough.
terrible. Could you imagine that too? Like you live 71 years and that's how you go. And
Yeah.
in the wake of people that you leave grieving, and then like that's how they have to tell people that you went.
Oh.
To just think of it, like to put together when that person was 71, that means they were born in 1950.
Yeah.
Imagine in the 50s growing up as a kid, they'll be like, the way you are going to die one day is in a tank that you paid to get into to deprive you of all your senses.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah. To
And it's a
deprive
gift.
you of all your
It's a gift certificate, just like you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You going to do it?
She got a gift cert?
Oh, so that
No,
person
someone gave her a
bought
gift
that.
certificate.
And the
More
gift
like
certificate's
death
made out to
certificate.
made out to Sal Vulcano.
Yeah, I got 3. I still got 3. I called them up after the pandemic. I'm like,
Yeah,
are you honoring this? They said, yeah. That was like 2 years
They
ago.
said you-
I still haven't gone.
They said you have to do it with a mask on.
It's good too if you have like injuries because I guess it's Epsom salt or
Sure.
something like that, but it's healing for your body.
But what is the cleaning process after one person?
They have a shower. So you shower before you go in, and then you shower
Great.
after.
What is the cleaning process of the pod?
Of the pod?
Yeah.
So they have a whole filter cleaning system, and then I think they each individually go in there as well.
Okay, because
Yeah.
people could be up to no
Wipe
good
it
in there.
down.
I completely understand. But
Also,
Hey, let's
you're
just-
sandpaper
you're soaking-
jerking if you're jerking off in there
Okay.
because it's all salt.
Yeah.
If your hand touches that water,
Okay,
you're
here's a
jerking off
question.
But
with-
you're still your asshole's in there.
Yeah.
Sure is.
What about a person with
sure is.
Okay, what about this? It's all salt. What about a person with high blood pressure? Is that safe for them?
Because are you talking about because skin absorption, or are you being just silly?
No, is it safe for them if there's high salt? Mike?
I would
I
like
like
to
how
know
I've
that.
become the de
It's
facto
one of the things I
expert
thought
of
of.
like
Seriously.
8 times.
Mine, yeah, Mike. Listen, you.
No, but it's not are they safe with salt? It's are they safe for people with high blood pressure?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
salt adds to your blood pressure. It adds to high blood pressure. I took it today, 130/80. It's
I
not
know
the
I
best.
took more than you guys, but I am
But I'm
firing
almost
off
on it.
the planet right now.
Dude, I am. It hit me
like
in a way.
pinball machine.
feel
Okay,
like
it hit me in a
I'm
way.
coming in third here.
Here's what happened to me. Remember, I was coughing before. I
Yeah.
was literally about to start hyperventilating because I was like, it is ricin, and I'm dying. And then the high kicked in, and because I was so nervous. I was so nervous about me just having a coughing fit and coughing to death. And that's what's making me nervous. And now the high kicked in, and I'm not coughing, and I'm a little nervous because I'm like, why did I stop coughing? Where did the cough move?
It moved to a different area in your body.
Yeah.
It's infecting
Well, I'm
elsewhere.
curious now that you're really, really high. What do you think about aliens now?
Why did you leave Chrissy Chaos?
This has been Hey Babe.
Don't be a fake, don't be a flake, don't run away from your feelings, babe. Don't be afraid, don't be ashamed, don't hesitate to say hey.